Hi everyone, I'm Nahx'Ryene and welcome to my channel. I'm doing this with barely any makeup, just a little bit of eyeliner and obviously my favourite wig. Um, I say everyone, few people have come up to me and asked me about my name Nahx'Ryene and wanted to know what it means. I would like to declare that it came from a recurring dream of mine, and to me the name actually means bright star because of the woman that wielded it was bright. She was radiating so much light. She was a nurturer. She had warmth, educated, and yeah, so that's where the name came from. Much opposing to the other person that accompanied her, Zalo, who was basically a very dark void filled with emptiness but offered strength, security, and protection. More so that on discovery, I found that the couple weren't so much a couple, but the two separate me's that everyone has noticed, the masculine me and then me. Some people thought I was crazy when found talking to myself, but it was actually a conversation I used to have with the other me, and it's always comforting. Which is a great segue for what this video is about, hence the title, Mental Health Awareness. I personally have mental health illnesses, which I will deliberate on more. I have an undiagnosed ADHD. Everyone has witnessed it and have asked me if I suffer, and all I can say is, unofficially, I'd like to say yes. Officially, since I haven't really been diagnosed, no. I also suffer with crippling anxiety, hence, as you can tell by my nervousness, and the reason why I don't use my hands as much as I normally do when I talk. Um, but yeah, it gets to the point where I get so anxious that I start dripping with sweat. I start feeling flustered to the point where I pass out. Some people, I believe, may end up being laughing at me, but it plays a part to my anxiety where I start assuming everyone's judging me, but I don't actually fear judgment so much. I just fear being called out or being misgendered, which then plays a part on the gender dysphoria because there are parts of me that I would be more than happy to have changed. And that goes to my jawline, my chin, my hairline, my voice to a point, but I'm working on that one. I'm actually impressed with how far I'm getting. Um, my chest, even though that seems to be growing quite well at the moment. Yes, I'm groping myself up. And my genitalia. Oh, not just the genitalia, but some body hair and my facial hair. I know I can get that sorted, and I'm planning on getting it sorted after my consultation at the GIC in London. So, um, but yeah, back to how I suffer, about my mental illness, even about how I suffer. Yeah, I do suffer, but everyone suffers. I also suffer with codependency addiction, where for a very long time I believed being in a relationship, being a part of a couple, was be a defining moment for me, and I realized that I cannot rely on having someone or being with someone to define who I am, because that's when issues start to happen within the relationship. You start picking up on the other person's flaws more than your own, and that can be very toxic, not just for yourself, but for the other person. Not only that, I also suffer with independency issues, where certain things I believe I can do it by myself. Not that I believe I can do everything by myself, because lately If it hasn't been for everyone that has helped and supported me along the way up until now and further along, I don't know where I would be. Or I'd be, and it'd be somewhere dark. I also suffer with claustrophobia since coming out. And this is going into relation of when I came out of being bisexual. I hid my sexuality. I'm not bisexual. I'm now considered pan or omnisexual, whichever it's classed as now, because I do more relate or wait for a connection, or they've got to have a great personality. It's the personality and intelligence that I'm attracted to. Aesthetically, you could look like a tree for all I care, as long as you can hold a good conversation and you're caring. I don't care. So, but yeah, and yeah, but with the claustrophobia, it's just where I've been hiding behind mask after mask. It becomes very claustrophobic. You can't breathe, you can't move. You feel bound to where you are, that you don't want to be yourself anymore. And then when you finally are yourself, and then you're told that you've got to wear a face covering, yeah, the anxiety ensues. Whew. Enough for me to pass out on a bus several times, which then induces my fear of being late for work or for an appointment. And yeah, it literally does take its toll. And because of all this, which then goes into the relation to what I'm about to say next, is I have been struggling with housing, but I'm getting there slowly, very, very slowly, much to the support and love I am getting from those around me. Without them, I wouldn't be as far as I am now. It's a part of the crippling anxiety, the claustrophobia, the independency issues. I'm trying to let my guard down so I can be more vulnerable with people, because I found that if I don't listen to rules, I don't get help. Yet, if I follow the rules, I don't get help. The system that is supposed to be infallible, that is not unbroken, that is unbroken, is a broken system, because there are people out there that have little wrong with them, that are more than capable, that are not entitled to what they get, yet they get it. They are managing to cheat a system that shouldn't be cheated, that cannot be cheated. Yet people out there like myself, who really need the services, who really struggle to get by on a day-to-day basis, don't get the help they need or deserve. And to me, that is disgusting. Something needs to change. The system needs to be better. The system needs to count for something, because there are people out there like me who end up homeless out on the streets, sleeping it rough, where to get by they're on drugs, drinking alcohol, going through sex work, or just using sex as an escape. And no one should be put in that position. No one. It's, as I said, it's a really disgusting system that we have to live by. I have a friend who got threatened that because she was a woman, she wasn't going to get hit. So if she was a man, she would have been hit. And that in itself is disgusting, because violence should never be an answer. Violence is no key to anything, it just provokes more unnecessary risks, unnecessary involvement, which can then make anyone's mental health degrade. It needs to be stopped. It does. Discrimination, prejudice, judgment. It seems to be what our so called civilized society is thriving on, and it shouldn't exist. It's not just in the LGBT community, it is everywhere. And it goes far, far back. I am aware, but like I said, it needs to change. What can we do about it as a community? And that's to make an awareness of these mental illnesses, not just the ones I've gone through, but everybody's. Because not everyone's going to talk about it, not everyone is going to be open about it. But some careful thoughts, instead of assumptions that someone's a-okay, is going to play an integral part in that person's life. Be open, be honest, be genuine, be caring, be giving. Think about them. Don't think about yourself. There are too many selfish people in this world that only want the best for themselves. Go out your way. Think about your fellow person. Think about your kin, your brethren. They need help more than you think, because all it takes is a supporting arm around the shoulder. Someone just to tell you everything's going to be alright. Someone just to hold you when you are feeling down. Antidepressants are not a permanent fix. There are people out there living their lives on antidepressants. There are people out there that have no one they can turn to because they are believed to have to be the strong one all the time. So, for a long time, I have tried to be an advocate for those that are suffering because I know how hard it is to deal with life when you do suffer. I would also love to be an ambassador for mental health awareness, and I'm going to make sure that I do eventually become what I asked to become. Not just a woman, don't get me wrong, that part for me is meant to be, but I would love to be an ambassador for mental health. So for now, I'm Nahx'Ryene. Welcome to my channel. Be great because it's a great day and you are in it. Bye bye, my darlings.